On behalf of the California Large Whale Entanglement Response Program, I would like to thank the Cabrillo Marine Aquarium for presenting us with the Susanne Lawrence-Miller Award for Education. This award means a lot for the network, as we've put a lot of effort into educating the public as well as management on the issue of large whale entanglement response. The issue that we're finding is that large whales are getting entangled in multiple sources of gear, and it's not just fishing gear, but many things that are in the water. When whales do get entangled, if they can't get out of the entanglement on their own, oftentimes they end up dying a slow, painful death, because the gear actually works to pull through and cause a lot of problems associated with drag. The whales unfortunately do suffer, and it's something that we are really concerned about. Here in California, the species of whale that we most often see entangled are gray whales and humpback whales. Those are the two species that we see pretty commonly along coastal California, and often are coming into most, I guess what we would call co-occurrence with those gears, or basically where the whales are at the same time that we have fishing gear. So we have an overlap of use by fishing and by our whales. The question of why do people really care about these whales so much always comes up, and I think it has a lot to do with, one, they're something that we don't get to see every day. And so when you go out on the water, or when you're on the shore and you come across one of these animals and you get to see one, it kind of, it's mystifying, because you don't get to see them all the time, and there's a curiosity, and so I think that that's a big part of it. I also think that it's a part of coastal California history. And for example, just like today, where we see all the kids all over the beach, looking at the ocean and hanging out, just like John Olguin did a long time ago, here in San Pedro, in this area, in Cabrillo. There's just this innate curiosity for these large animals, and I think that provides, again, the curiosity that drives people to want to do more and to help them. And unfortunately, the Large Whale Entanglement Response Program is really just a band-aid for the bigger issue of entanglement. What's really important, though, is that we're out there when we get the gear off of these whales and we document what's going on. We're providing this information back to management, back to the state of California, to NGOs, as well as the public, so people can understand what's happening out there. And because of this, we're working towards more preventative solutions for the future, because ideally we'd like to be able to have fisheries at the same time as whales are out there, but not catching whales. And so the goal is to ultimately minimize these entanglements so that we don't have as many, or ultimately stop them altogether. So if you are fortunate enough or unfortunate enough to come across a large entangled whale, the best thing to do is to stay on scene, to monitor the whale from a distance, and to call our 1-877 SOS whale NOAA hotline as soon as possible. But standing by on that whale is critical, because once we lose the sight of that whale, very often it's hard for us to go back out and find. It's just like a needle in a haystack.